So awesome, cool. Let's
back up.
Let's do yeah, a person with the brown hair. Yeah. All right. What would we do? Deserve to disagree with you on?
I find that among my circle of friends, pretty big movie list. We all went to the same high school movie class, and they all hate it. I love it.
Yeah, you like it? What do you like about it?
Tim Curry.
What's that?
Just Tim Curry. There is no scene in that movie that Tim Curry cannot improve. Like, I watched it by myself, and I had to pause the movie, because I was dying. I couldn't breathe.
Did you float?
Hey, all float.
So you like it for Tim Curry, and because he's so over the top goofy and stuff.
Tim Curry is so over the top. And the scene with the dog and the clown suit, and even though it's such a massive letdown at the end, the giant spider is just so ridiculously campy. I can't help but like it.
Okay, so it is like you enjoy how campy it is.
I enjoy how campy the movie is. Like I do agree with you from your review. Like it's stupid, but Tim Curry's a riot.
Yeah, no, he's a ton of fun.
You know, I like Tim Curry in anything he's in, and everyone was like, "Oh, this movie sucks. It's horrible," but I'm like, it has Tim Curry.
Automatically makes it better.
Exactly.
So, awesome, cool.
Yeah.
That's a good movie. Let's do the Black Cat. All right, now we'll just read.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
The remake?
Yeah, or reboot. Whatever.
Reboot, yeah, whatever. The Tim Burton one, correct?
I don't know if it's Tim Burton. No, not the Tim Burton one. The newest one that came out.
Oh, the newest one. Okay.
With the Andy Serkis playing Caesar.
Did you like it or dislike it?
I love it, but a lot of people.
Oh, really? I heard a lot of people like it.
Hate it.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard like a lot of critics liked it. It was a big hit and stuff like that. That's interesting.
I thought it was good too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you're alone on that. I think a lot of people really like that.
It's a good choice.
It's a big debate between me and my friends because they just think it's stupid. The CGI was horrible. And
Well, your friends are stupid. They're horrible.
James Franco was terrible acting, which I can't actually disagree with. He's probably the biggest snorefest of that movie. But it was everything else, and this whole idea of something that we create, sort of like Frankenstein complex. Of we create something, and then it just turns around and bites us in the ass. That was my feel of it, and I think that's mostly what other people like about it. But I don't know. I hear other people saying it's basically a Disney movie with a bit of violence.
I didn't see the movie and I didn't want to, but everyone was talking about how good it was. I actually became very intrigued to go see it. Now I haven't seen it yet, but and that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing it's a very good sort of cautionary Frankenstein traditional sort of monster movie kind of thing. So yeah, that sounds totally legit. I know there's a lot of people that like that movie as well.
I hear even more than just hate it, so I guess it's one of those you love or hate.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm actually very interested in checking it out too. So yeah, I actually will check it out. Awesome. Let's do person holding up the pictures. This is like let's make a deal. The more ridiculous the outfit, the more likely you are. So what do you want for Christmas, little boy?
I've got a candy cane in my pants.
Oh, I like it. It's like sure.
Alright, so my like is the Star Wars prequels.
Okay, now what do you like about it?
Actually, one of the things I really do like about it, first, the special effects I thought were great, the fight scenes were really great. But Anakin, everyone seems to hate him. I thought he was a realistic character. Teenagers would act, no, they would act imperfect. They wouldn't act all perfect action hero. What I loved about him, he was an imperfect hero. He was whiny, he was like annoying, but that's how a teenager would act. He was perfect for it.
You know, I actually get in a debate about The Little Mermaid because of that. Because a lot of people, oh, she's so whiny and all it is, it's all about her. And she just wants a boy that she just met and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's 16. But I understand the annoyance that they have with her too. But okay, so you thought that actually the stuff that people criticize as a bad character, you're saying, well, that's part of you. That's part of growing up. So, okay,
I thought it wrapped things together very well too. It wrapped up the series, like it brought it all together.
Okay, cool. And which one do you dislike?
Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh, hey, right over there. Oh, you hate me, I know it.
You're not alone there, friends.
Okay, well, what did you dislike about it?
Well, I'm a huge Miyazaki fan, and his movies can be very weird. The Spirited Away was so weird, but it was so good. Princess Mononoke was very weird, but it was very good. House of the Castle was extremely weird, but it makes sense. Like in the end, you see why it makes sense. With Spirited Away, you see why it all actually makes sense. It was strange, but it made sense. This one just didn't seem to make sense to me. It just seemed confusing. Nothing really. It ended up with nothing. Nothing was really explained.
Yeah, I will say, for me, it sort of felt more like they were trying to get some good visuals and some good ideas, maybe. But I sort of agree. I didn't feel it came. I couldn't emotionally get that connected. I couldn't follow the story that well when there was a story. And it seemed very cluttered and a bit of a mess and stuff. So I don't hate it. But I see what you're talking about. I definitely sympathize with you on it. So.
I just think they didn't come together well enough.
Yeah, so no, that makes sense. So, good, awesome. Let's do Pink Bear there. So, go ahead. What do you want from us?
Okay, no lynching, all right? The anime classic Akira. I hate it.
Now, actually, no, I can understand that. Well, I like it, but what don't you like about it?
It's confusing, nothing's explained, it's extremely repetitive, it's 2 hours of one guy going, Canada, Tetsuo,
But he's from
Canada. Can't stand it. Watched it 4 or 5 times, still couldn't figure out what the hell was going
Now,
on.
I will say, what a lot of people like about that, I like about it as well, is that it's sort of the 2001 Space Odyssey thing, where part of it is that you're not supposed to know exactly what's going on, but it's a little bit more what I like to call an experience movie, where it's something where you're supposed to feel like you're going through an experience more than following a story or a plot or a complex plot, which was very complex. And I think the idea behind it was that it was sort of supposed to be like the next evolution of what man could become, and the cautions and the downsides, mixing evolution with, the faults of humanity now. And that's always sort of like it with 2001 as well. And I do like those movies, but at the same time, I see where you're coming from too, because there does seem to be a lot of pointless violence. And some characters seem to exist just to literally die in the film. But I still don't know why his girlfriend was in that movie. I mean, I was just like, once you die, oh, sorry, spoilers. No, I can definitely understand that. I can understand someone. But tell me you like the animation, though, at least.
Oh yes, the animation's amazing. Like when his, spoilers, when the guy's guts fall over the pavement, that's amazing. That's
well, that's concerning that you like that. So, awesome. Let's do, I don't know if those are candles or what. Whatever those are, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I did a random marathon of old movies. I have to say my favorite would be the 1958 version of The Fly. It's like the original.
And you say,
yes.
Did a lot of people don't like it?
I haven't met a lot of people who know about it. But I have to say it's my favorite. Then again, I watch Power, so.
Okay. I believe it or not, I haven't seen either. I haven't seen the original or the remake. I have to, actually, because I hear they're both
Second
great.
movie, Psycho.
Psycho, you like the original?
Yes.
You know people who don't?
Oh god, I don't think anybody does not like it. I mean, it's random.
Okay, so you do like it as well?
Yes.
You do not like this movie that people disagree with you.
Okay, well.
Good try, though.
Avatar. Avatar: The Last Airbender sucked. There we go.
Everybody likes it. Everybody hates it too.
There you go.
We all hate
Y'all
it.
agree.
There you go. So, good job.
You get the George Bush participation rating.
The guy who came here, you Thank you. What's that?
And just to be clear, you can all agree.
Oh, is this good? Okay, good. We'll do that. All right, so talk real close here. All right, you can make love to a microphone. Well, that was more than I did see.
They're making animals fight.
Now, one of the movies that I've noticed people don't seem to like, I saw one guy walking around with The Punisher. You like or dislike?
I loved it.
The newer one, right?
The
older one.
Oh,
Yeah,
like the 80s? Yeah, the 80s. Well, I've never even seen that. Well, I've never seen any of them, but yeah.
And Bloody Tastic.
Now, do you like it because it's legitimately good, or do you like it because it's so
I
campy?
think it was legitimately good.
Okay.
I think that,
a vengeful character like that could actually do these things if he had the resources. Of course, obviously, it's not going to happen. But I thought it was bloody brilliant. Firstly, I thought it was an incredible action movie.
Okay.
But if you're looking for a story, it's not the one to choose. I will admit.
Okay.
It's a basic revenge story.
But you like the action. You like the vengeance.
Yeah, absolutely. The vengeance. The vengeance of it was absolutely brilliantly done, and I just love how he traps the enemy. It's just incredible how he whittles it down.
You know, I never saw that one, but I did hear that in the newer one that came out that actually I didn't see that one either, but I heard so many people are actually feeling more sorry for the villains. Like, just like, I don't care what you do to his family, they don't deserve it. This is horrible.
Yeah,
I thought that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought the new one was hilariously violent. It was perfect if you're looking for a quick laugh. Well, not so quick, but a quick laugh. But the old one, I think, is pretty much a classic. It's just well put together in every way.
Cool. I've never seen it. I mean, like, I haven't heard good stuff, honestly, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, we should probably check it out anyway. So,
yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Cool. Awesome. Let's do the White Mask. What's your movie?
My movie would be Knowing.
Wait, what's it called?
Knowing.
Knowing. Oh, the Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
Okay, I never saw it. Now, what did you like about it?
Well, it's like endless. Yeah, I liked at the beginning where it sort of builds up to where everyone dies. You know, you see this kid gets this paper with a bunch of numbers. It turns out to be month, date, and longitude, latitude where this accident is going to be and how many people will die. Okay, I like that until the very end when they bring in aliens to take two kids.
Really? That's where it goes?
Yeah, and they found the new Adam and Eve on a different planet.
Really? That gives me an Owen Wilson fan. That sounds very bizarre. I won't lie. Okay, I'm actually sort of intrigued just from that stand because I didn't know aliens were in it. I'm just sort of like, okay, now I just want to see it just to see how the hell they work that in. Okay, cool. Okay, so you like the first half, second half, you're like,
yeah, I liked how it all built up to where everyone dies from a giant solar flare, except for the two kids that get picked up by aliens.
Well, maybe that's what people dislike, but you like it because you like the first half and you think it overrides the second half. You know, you're cool with it. And for a lot of other people, it's probably they could take the second half when they were doing it. So no, that makes sense. I mean, but for you, you saw something good. You're like, I like this first half. I'm glad I saw that first half. So that makes sense. No, that totally makes sense. So awesome, good stuff. Let's do Yellow Hat.
All right, I got one I like and one everyone loves, but I hate it, and it makes me feel sad that I hate it. Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal.
Oh, hey. Up here, man, up here. That was awesome. The two applauses actually hooked up. That was awesome. Let's see if we can do that more often.
But yeah, all my friends love the movie. They're like, it's one of his greatest masterpieces. And I love Jim Henson. Everything he does is gold. But I'm watching the movie, and I just hate it. Every second is boring. The puppets are amazing. The puppets are always great. But the story seems so used and so old, and I just couldn't get into it.
I really strongly agree. And I think the reason people do like it when they like it is that they like the creativity and they like the world. And I can understand that. I mean, that stuff is really cool. But it is, and I like the fact that it is all puppets. I think that's fascinating. You know, I think it's cool that they tried that stuff in that, and that they would do it with this kind of story. But yeah, I think it's just so boring. And I think it's really trying to show off that it's using puppets, but the story is just so lacking. The one I do love the line with the wings. And, well, I don't have wings. Of course not. You're a boy. It's like that. I'm like, okay, now that was legitimately funny. I thought that was a really good line. What's your other movie?
The movie I like that everyone seems to hate, Click.
Now that's right. Now I'm curious. What do you like about Click?
I have to say it's the ending.
Yeah. Okay. I love the second half of that movie. I'm like, oh my god, this is like tearjerker and stuff. I hate that I had to get to the first half to get to it.
Yes. I can't protect the first half.
And it shocked the hell out of me that it got so grim and so harsh, but it was good. It was emotional.
King was amazing.
Yeah, you know, it's one of the few times where I'm like, Henry Winkler made me cry. You know, which you're not going to see that often. But it was so strange, you know, for the lead-in, you know, the first half to be just a typical Adam Sandler movie, and just sort of bad Sandler, too.
That's what I see it is. The first half is just building up to the lesson that you can't take all
So again, you think the last half is worth it, is legitimate, you know, hey, you don't want to miss this.
I think the first half is what makes the ending special, because you're seeing all this stuff and he's just quickly giving up, and then the second half shows you that it's a total loss.
I think for me, you could do the first half with better comedy and sort of stronger characters. I mean, especially when you see his wife, it's like, really, he's married to that knockout comedian. It's Adam Sandler. And he's not a movie star in this. You know, so, no, but I can understand that, because I actually really like the second half too, and a lot of people are really thrown off by the second half because they're like, wow, they either love the second half or they hate it, or love the first half and hate the second half, you know, so, no, I can understand that, I can totally understand.
Thank you.
So, let's do I think that's a Halo helmet there, I'm not quite sure. Gundam. Alright, what is that? I don't know what it is. I already know. Let's do,
Okay, so I got two. I got one where I keep on fighting with my friend where I'm sitting there going like, this is a good movie. And whereas my friend, his most extreme reactions, hates this movie, will never see what this guy, or what these two have directed ever again. I like Burn After Reading.
Burn After Reading.
Coen Brothers.
Yeah, I really like that movie.
The thing that he just doesn't get, and I think that this is the big point, and is the division point. I love, this is just a commentary on stupid people. Everyone in this is, for the most part, unlikable in some way. They have some crazy character flaw. They're all dumb, as dumb as a rock. And yet, it's just a commentary on stupid people. I love the ending as well. It's just like, well,
I love the ending makes everything.
Well, I guess we're never gonna do what we did. It won't happen again. I guess.
I see it sort of like the Big Lebowski, just a gigantic waste of time. You think it's building up to something, but it's nothing. I mean, in my opinion, it even builds up to even less than Big Lebowski. The only part I didn't like in there's a character that gets killed off near the end.
Yes.
I thought that was way too.
That was a little mean-spirited to me too.
Yeah, I mean, it can be mean, but be funny.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, that's just
mean.
Yeah, ugly. That's an ugly scene. You know, where again, it can be really dark but really funny. I thought that was going a bit too far. But no, I really like that movie too. I think critics really liked it.
Yeah, I think overall it was just one of those ones where it's like, it's just such an extreme reaction afterwards. And then the one where it is a bad movie, I know it's a bad movie, but it's an extreme guilty pleasure, is Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Dude, that movie's awesome.
Oh, there's a lot of people that like that.
That's hilarious.
I just think that it's like, well, by all accounts, a lot of the humor is just, it's dumb. It's sitting there going like, okay, free boob chick, whatever. But it's such a quotable film, I think, is what really gets there. And I love the fact that, for the most part, they're just taking some other movie and just either overdubbing, editing over, like the fight with the cow, for example, it just goes on. And then, again, quotable things like just the monologue. He learned one thing, he won one thing, important thing that day. Cause hurt like crap, man! You know, like those kind of things where it's just...
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I've heard more people sort of talking about what it's doing. I'm sort of like, oh, well, that's interesting. Okay, I didn't know it did that. They just kept showing the cow scene, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no. But then people were telling me, no, they take these movies and they overdub them and they work them all in. I'm like, okay, that kind of sounds funny. That might be entertaining. So, no, and I know that's getting more of a fan base, too.
Yeah.
So you're not
it's
alone.
very much a cult kind of thing.
Yeah, it's getting more and more of a fan base. So, Yeah, you're definitely not alone. Let's do the guy with the yellow face back there.
Am I allowed to speak?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess the movies that I like that I guess a lot of people hate are oftentimes movies. They're sci-fi movies with a really cool aesthetic. Like I like Lost in Space, the remake, which I noticed. I think you hate that one.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people hate that. But I like a lot of these movies because I mean I like doing mechanical design stuff. I mean I like the artwork. So
the design in that movie is pretty cool.
Yeah, and so that's always sort of been a soft spot. So I end up liking a lot of movies like the crappy Transformers movies and the.
But you
Lost in
like the
Space.
technical side.
Yeah, and it's a technical side and it's purely aesthetic. But I think it's really cool just seeing the art that goes into it. I mean, if you look at the concept art, if you look at all that kind of stuff, a lot of it's pretty cool. And so that's sort of I have a soft spot for a lot of that kind of stuff.
No, that actually makes a lot of sense. Like, I'll even admit some of the movies I really hate, you know, like I'm not a fan of Batman Robin, I'm not a fan of Phantom Menace. But the sets and the cities and they're beautiful. They look great. That's one thing I do give Schumacher credit for. He's so good at showing off his sets.
I actually, never mind. Long story. Sorry. I knew one of the guys who worked on Batman. One of my old teachers from older school. Really cool guy, but it's just a lot of work that went into it. You gotta really, I mean, you respect it a lot more when you look at it from that perspective.
Yeah, no, and that's always, I think it is important to give that stuff credit when you're talking about whether or not a movie's good or bad or something. It's like, but this was good. If something was really, really good, stood out, I think it's good.
Right.
Now, and that is something in Lost in Space. I'm like, for that campy TV show, and then the look of it, they really updated it very nicely.
And they have such, I mean, the robot was so cool looking.
Yeah.
I mean, they even do that in these stupid Transformers movies, but I mean, you gotta admit, it's pretty cool seeing a tattooed F-22. But anyways, if there's still time. One movie that I think a lot of people seem to like that I really hated was Starship Troopers, the 1997 film.
You know, that they talked to the director about that movie, and that's another one where a lot of people actually aren't liking it because they quote-unquote get it. And they talked to the director about a long time ago, and they said, you know, all right, so you've done, RoboCop and Total Recalls, and then you did Starship Troopers. This was Mancow when he was still this jockey, and he was saying, he's talking to the director, and he says, but Starship Troopers, what went wrong, man? And the guy, I forget if he's German or where he is, some sort of accent, but he just said,
I think he's German.
Yeah, he said, well, I don't think people know it was supposed to be funny. And people thought it was meant to be taken seriously. He said, no, it's pretty much, what if the Nazis won? This is the kind of world we were living in, So, I mean, it's bad. These are not good people. That was sort of his idea that these are terrible, terrible people.
Right.
But, people didn't get that. They thought these were the heroes and these were supposed to be complex. No, they're dumb, horrible people.
Right. Well, and that wasn't really what bothered me about it, actually. A lot of it, I mean, I know that was one of the big things. One of the big things also, you could say it was sort of a bad adaptation of the novel, but I mean, there was a lot of things in the novel that I think were supposed to be taken a little differently, but when he directed it, was supposed, from my understanding, he took the approach that, this is supposed to be like a parody or I'm going to make a parody of the book or something. He didn't really read much of it. That, and he didn't include the most awesome part, which is the giant robots, which was supposed to
giant robots?
He forgot the giant robots, so I was a little pissed off about that. They're in it. Yeah, but the third movie was like an evangelical Christian church advertisement. It was horrible.
Well, we'll get to that one.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you.
Awesome. Let's do.
Add one more thing.
Let's do the blonde. Have you come up here? What's yours?
Alright, so there's this one movie that I remember seeing, but judging from what I've read on Wikipedia, there's either no response from it all, or people are just like, on it. And it's a Jim Carrey movie called Yes Man. Have any of you guys seen it?
I saw that.
I despise that movie with a passion that burns worse than herpes.
I don't like it either.
I mean, the whole scenario for me was, it was during Christmas. My dad was stranded in some other state, and I was just stranded in this one snow-blown town for a couple days. We were at a mall, and my family and I went to go see that, and as we walked out, my mother was just like, so what do you think? And I was just like, wow. That was the worst fucking movie I've seen in my life.
I'm curious. I didn't think it was that bad. What made you hate it more than any other movie you ever seen in your life?
An old woman giving Jim Carrey a blowjob. That is all. Well,
I don't even remember that. See, maybe I repressed it.
Well, it was partially that, and partially, I really don't know why I didn't like it. It's just, a lot of it didn't really come off as funny to me, and of course the whole Randy sucking Jim Carrey's cock, that didn't help much either. But the only two things I really liked about that were, one, Zooey Deschanel.
Oh yeah, that was her, wasn't it?
And two, there was this one scene where this one guy's holding a 300 theme party, and he answers the door in sort of the parody of like, "This is Sparta" type thing, and which gave me a perfect opportunity to yell back at the screen, "This isn't funny!"
Nice.
I mean, I haven't really heard anybody else say anything else about it, but I just
I've never heard anyone. Yeah, I've never heard anyone really praise it or say anything. I don't hear people hate it, but no, that's interesting. It's a very interesting movie to despise. No, that makes sense. Awesome. What? I thought I heard somebody say something. Let's do. Person holding up the shoe. That's pretty funny. Go ahead with your movie.
I'm probably gonna get lynched for this, but I really dislike the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes! Oh no, you're definitely not alone on that. And now let's be honest, even those who like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, do you really need to hear why someone doesn't like the Rocky Horror Picture Show? It's something where it's like, I don't really get into it either, but I see why others do. You know, it is sort of just in its own weird world. It is making these weird acknowledgments, and there's no story, there's no plot or anything like that. I mean, it's like, I see why people like it too. They like how sort of campy, over the top, bad it is, and how, you know, Tim Curry's doing his thing and stuff like that.
I like campy, over the top movies most of the time. I like movies with no story a lot of the time.
But this one was just.
I don't like this one because